I met Vipul Ricky last month at Deer Park in Beer, where I was part of a program he was conducting called Suno Sadho, or Listen Seekers, based on the life and teachings of the great poet, mystic, saint Kabir Sahab, who lived in the 15th century. And I found an instant connection between what Kabir Sahab had to say, what he prolifically spoke about, and the inner workings, the inner wiring of a leader, in particular with ESG. Vipul Ricky has spent the last 2 decades of his life on furthering, researching, writing, singing, reading the works of Kabir Sahab. And I'm so glad that today we have Vipul with us on this conversation to talk to us on the culture of ESG and the connections with Kabir Sahab. Thank you very much, Vipul, for being with us today.
Well, thank you, Harsh, for the introduction, and very glad to be here and to have this short conversation with you on ESG.
Thank you, Vipul. It's a real pleasure. Vipul, everyone today is talking about climate change, but no one is talking about internal climate change. And even on the external climate change, it is like mostly even the common man has forgotten what environment is, and business treats it only as a compliance. So how would you relate this to what Kabir Sahab or some of his other contemporaries spoke and shared so prolifically?
Well, like you said, it's a very important point that we recognize that we are part of nature, that we are nature. So environment is not separate from us. And also how, how nature grows organically, so human beings also grow and evolve. So if you talk about leadership, there is a lot to learn from nature. So let me just begin with a very well-known verse, Sufi verse.
Yes.
ए जी अलिफ अला चंबे दी बूटी मेरा मुर्शिद मन विच लाई हूँ नफी असबात दा पानी भरया और हर रगे हर जाई हूँ ते अंदर बूटी मुश्क मचाया ए जी अंदर बूटी मुश्क मचाया ते जान फुलन ते आई हूँ हर जीवे मुर्शिद कामिल बाहू जे बूटी मन विच लाई हूँ. So in this verse, the poet Sultan Bahu, he's celebrating his guru, his Kamil Murshid, for planting this seed, this booty, this plant in his heart. And that's now this plant has flowered and spreads its fragrance throughout his body and in all his veins, through his bloodstream. So, that's how human beings also flower. There is a seed, there is a process of flowering, growing, and that's how we become a tree which can give. The tree which gives fruit, which gives shade, and which gives oxygen. So while we take care of climate change outside, if we don't regulate our inner climates and our inner environment, it won't make more than a surface difference. Because when human beings change, their environment changes around them. So our environment is a reflection of how we are within. And all the exploitation that we see in the environment and how we treat the environment like a resource or like something external to us which can be exploited is a reflection of how we also look at other human beings as resources, as things to exploit. And maybe also ourselves, how we relate to ourselves, like my energy, how can I make best use of it? And so we have a very very transactional relationship with ourselves, with other people, and with the environment. And as leaders, if we can change that, the whole system will change. And it can be a more co-creational kind of space, where there is still growth, there is still evolution. but not in this manner.
So Vipul, very important. I think you said this right word, that without internal climate change, it would only be a surface change on the outside. But in today's times, and for a long time, we have seen that greed has taken over need in a substantial manner. So, what would Kabir Sahab have to share from some of his dohas or bhajans on the inner workings of a man, of a leader?
I think, Harsh, it's because greed has taken over so much, because we are so keen on getting all our fulfillment and all our validation from the outside. So we get all the affirmation that we want and all the joy that we want, either from our achievements or from our possessions. So this whole culture is driven by achievements, how much I have done, what I have achieved, how far I have come, and so on. And also how much I have acquired, what are the things that I have, or where all I can go to eat or travel, and etc. But Kabir says, for example, he says something very counterintuitive. So he says, Kabira tu hara bhala और जीतन दे संसार, जीते को जम ले जाएगा और हारा हरि के द्वार. So he's talking that when we come within, we can experience Hari, which is that other reality, something more fulfilling than just this. So when we find that fulfillment within ourselves, then our relationship with external things transforms. So we can have more care, while also, having a work relationship with other people and with our environment. So what he means to say is that when he has overcome his own needs and greeds, then he finds this field of infinite potential, finds this field of infinite joy, where you can give and receive in a different way. So not at all do we mean to say that one has to stop getting or giving or relating or transacting or leading or working. All these things are very important, but they can be transformed into a different nature. So for example, Kabir says, He Ji Ram, चाह गई चिंता मिटी और मनवा बेपरवाह, जिसको कछु ना चाहिए सो ही शहंशाह. तो असली शहंशाह कौन है? जिसने अपने पे जीत पा ली. That is the true leader. That is the true king. That is the true emperor.
Today, business works on a lot of kind of a monoculture in certain ways. I mean, even if they show outwardly that there is something else which they are trying to do, in the end, it is always about monoculture. It is not about really finding that volition of people, finding that true energy in the people. Any words from you on that?
Yeah, I think we are stuck in certain habit patterns, and we are afraid to let go of them. And the pandemic has been very interesting because you've been forced to let go of certain patterns, at least. For example, I see now young kids who were working 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours in offices, now do the same amount of work in 2-3 hours online, and then they are roaming around in the mountains or in Goa or wherever it is. But they're doing the work, but their life has enriched. Now, like you mentioned in some other conversation we had, leaders allow this for themselves, but they're afraid to allow this for their employees. But actually, whole work culture can change, through and through, where people are able to give the same amount of work and actually a better quality of work, but with more fulfillment for themselves. And how much more committed would they be to the work and to the company or to the setup if they were also finding their fulfillment within it rather than feeling exploited. So it's just a habit that we can overcome, and a little bit, if we start letting go, then this monoculture can become a sort of multicultural sort of energies flowing together, which would change even the quality of the work that is happening.
Yeah. I think breaking that monoculture also would bring a lot of more social inclusion.
Yes, and also a lot of creativity.
Yes,
So
of
a lot
course.
of creativity is now, repressed. So it would unleash all that creativity.
And what comes to your mind when we talk about self-governance? What are some of the Kabir Dohas which resound with you?
Self-governance. Yeah, I mean, to the mind, the human mind is such a minefield. So when we talk about governance and we see politics and we see how that plays out, it's a reflection of our inner state, which is chaotic. And how can you govern anything outside when you can't govern yourself or your own mind? So, for example, Kabir says, ये जी दौड़त दौड़त दौड़िया और जहाँ लग मन की दौड़ दौड़ थके मन स्थिर भया तो वस्तु ठोर की ठोर. He says we keep running as far as the mind will take us, and we keep following our mind, and it's all over the place. When at last there is a moment when the mind becomes still, and this is victory over the mind, then you find what you were looking for right here, not far away, not somewhere else, but right here. So this place is a very precious place which we can access from time to time, and we can grow in this space of self, how to say it, an integration with one's own self, with one's own mind, heart, body, and spirit. When all of these become integrated, then there is a sahaj, what he calls sahaj, spontaneous, natural, easy flow. And this flow it's a creative force. So all the best work, all the best ideas, all the best inspirations come out of this flow. And when we cultivate this flow, that is spontaneous self-governance. It's not governance through the mind.
Right.
It's something more holistic than that.
And Vipul, typically, business feels that all these kind of things are like post-retirement activities. They are not part of life. They are not part of regular life, which is absolutely contrarian to what the mystics really say. How do you think one could tackle this?
Well, this is part of the monoculture that you were talking about, that life now is just about work, earning, achieving, progressing, getting ahead, working hard, partying hard. So it becomes a kind of, fixed idea. But once we get into other kinds of things, travel, music, poetry, we see that you can have this and have that. So, the best thing is that you can have this cake and also eat it, in the sense that you can have this impulse to work, honor the impulse to work and to create and to achieve, to honor this impulse, and at the same time make your life so much richer with not just spirituality, but creativity, art, and all kinds of expression. And that changes the quality of your work. I keep saying this, that actually it benefits our work and the way we work, and it benefits our relationships in the work environment. So you can have both. It's a fixed idea that if I let go of this, I will lose it.
Right.
So there's a story about the monkey. How they trap monkeys, I forget, but where exactly, somewhere in India maybe. And what they do is that they put a piece of food, which the monkey, through a narrow hole, right? Now to get the banana, the monkey squeezes his fist, puts the hand through, grabs the banana. But now the fist has become bigger and he can't take it out again. So he's trapped. He doesn't realize he can just let go of the banana and take his wrist out. So it's a fixed idea like this. We think that we won't get the banana if we let go of it, but it's not true. The forest is full of bananas. So the whole forest opens up to us when we let go of this fixed idea and open ourselves to other experiences so we can have this and have other rich experiences.
That's a wonderful share. Great, Vipul. With that message, at least I will try giving away all the bananas and getting to the forest, and look forward to having more conversations with you and furthering this subject. Thank you, Vipul.
Thank you, Harsh. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.